What's good, YouTube? Today we're here with another little reaction. Today we were reacting to a scary video. Shout out to the dude who made the video, and the link will be down in the description below. Hope you guys do enjoy the reaction. If you guys do, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment for more. While you're at it, be sure to follow the Twitch streams, bro. We are live almost every day. I would love to have you guys over there. But that being said, let's go to the reaction. Let's get it. Horrors found in the dark web marketplaces. Let's go. So you're doing two? Bet? I don't know about two. I mean, we'll see, bro. This one's good as fuck. All right, bet. 2022. Is this a fucking ad?
2022.
Oh.
And 27-year-old Reed Churchill is doing what
Yo, holy fucking chud. What the fuck? Hit the gym.
he does best. Playing tennis.
Nah, I'm playing. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Shaped his life around the sport, having won several.
Yo, really, dude?
Top 70 in the Southern Division of the
I got
US
you.
Tennis Association, a national caliber ranking for junior players. After studying sports management in university, he got a job working for the Summerhill Racket Club in Fayetteville, teaching tennis at every level. In this particular game, however, Reed would sustain an injury, one that we don't know the exact nature of. What we do know is that it left him with chronic pain.
Huh?
Seeking relief, he decided to turn to the internet. But not the World Wide Web we all know and use every day.
You know what? It's kind of crazy to me.
Reed turned.
You know what? I'm sorry, this is off topic. But you know what's kind of crazy to me? How people like they always turn to the internet when they have like nothing. I feel like a lot of people do that.
To the dark web. He loaded up a special web browser.
Is that a
called
bad thing
Tor.
though? No, it's not a bad thing. I just find it interesting that people do that. I mean, shit, I did that too, bro. Like, I literally have no friends, and I decided to use social media to make friends and find friends. I'm not even trolling.
One that's capable of accessing the dark web.
It's easier? Yeah, deadass it is.
However, he had to make an account before he could see what was available. A lengthy process that involved mandatory two-factor authentication and even setting up PGP encryption. After about an hour of setup time, Reed was in, and he began combing through the listings, eventually settling on a bottle of oxycodone pills.
Can you go on the dark web on Twitch?
Commonly prescribed to those with acute musculoskeletal pain. He fills out a short form and then hits order, hopeful that the medication
Probably
will
not,
help
yeah,
him
okay,
feel
makes
normal
sense.
again.
Dude, that'd be a crazy
Sometime
fucking
later,
trip.
maybe days, possibly months, Reed's father David arrives at his door. He rings the bell, but
Also, I don't know
his
why you
son
would want
doesn't
to.
let him in.
Yo, I'll be honest, I've never
Concerned,
went on that dark web shit. That's just kind of scaring me, bro. I don't know if I can get your IP leaked like in 2 seconds.
This is his key and comes in anyways. He
Find a bad bit, like, yo, EJ, like, it's not that scary.
calls out, but his son doesn't answer. He wonders if he simply isn't home. But that thought is soon erased when he walks into the living room.
What?
There, Reed is all splayed out, half on the couch, half on the floor. His skin is cold and his body is stiff. There's no question about it. He's dead. After
What
an autopsy, authorities
happened?
would find fentanyl in Reed's system. The pills he bought on the dark web were laced with the incredibly dangerous substance. It would take a few years of intensive investigation, but the FBI's Joint Criminal Opioid and Darknet Enforcement Unit would eventually identify the marketplace Reed had ordered his medication from.
And see, this is why you don't order shit on the dark web. Like, why? Like, obviously, like, what? Bro, it's so sad.
A platform called Incognito, one of the largest dark web narcotics bazaars ever operated. It had been live since 2020, offering users all manner of illicit substances. There was one rule though: no fentanyl. The substance was
What do you buy though? Oxy.
too dangerous. Miscalculating a dose even slightly was enough to kill somebody. Still though, counterfeit meds that were nothing
I feel like fent is the most dangerous drug, no?
more than fentanyl-laced substances masquerading as legitimate prescription medicine was a problem on the site, and enforcement from the platform's admins on this particular issue was poor. Keep that thought in mind for later. The main admin on the site was a user named Pharaoh. Not much was known about him. The platform he had designed had security and privacy ingrained in every corner of it, but that wouldn't stop the FBI from finding weak spots. Specifically, authorities were able to trace
I don't
several
know.
large
Some people buy prescription meds that like insulin on the dark web because it's more cheaper. They do?
crypto transfers from some of the market's known wallets to a personal account at a centralized crypto exchange.
That's not bad shout, yeah.
If you've ever dealt in crypto before, you'll know that these massive exchanges require
Oh shit,
a
I got
lot
a big
of
one
personal
coming.
information, even copies of
Yep,
passports
that shit just
and
it
other
just
forms
popped
of
out.
photo ID.
Oh,
This
and my headset's about to
ended up
die.
being
Nice.
Pharaoh's downfall, whose real name was Xiong Lin. He was a Taiwanese man and was shockingly only 23 years old at the time he was identified in 2024, meaning he was only 19 when he started one of the dark web's largest drug markets. Sensing the authorities were closing in on him, Lin would execute an exit scam on Incognito. This is fairly common on the dark web. Most marketplaces operate on crypto, and transactions usually happen through an escrow wallet owned by the marketplace. Without any rules or regulations, and with the people operating these platforms being anonymous criminals, many dark web marketplaces end when the person operating them decides to shut everything down and run away with all the crypto in the escrow wallet. In Incognito's case, Lin managed to steal at least $1 million worth of user deposits according to the DOJ. But he didn't stop there. Despite claiming to have built Incognito with security
It's low-key
and
sad
privacy
though,
in
like
mind,
imagine the last
Lin,
option
in
having to be
reality,
going on the
had
dark
been
web because he
secretly
got no
collecting
insurance.
all
Yeah, that is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like healthcare and like globally is a very weird thing to like tackle. Like I'm not even smart enough to think like how to make that shit properly, I guess, fair for everybody.
user data on the site, including private.
Cause like I know in Canada that shit is free, but like I heard in Canada, like let's say like you really like let's say you broke an arm and you really need a doctor like right away, like they make you wait and shit. They make you wait in that pain. Like that's kind of crazy, bro.
Messages, transaction info, and order details. He threatened to publish it all to the internet if vendors didn't pay him a ransom. It wouldn't matter though, because Lin would be arrested on May 18th, 2024, and authorities would seize the entire Incognito database.
You don't really feel pain,
giving them ample evidence to go after and arrest.
I mean, it depends on your pain tolerance. Is your pain tolerance that high? Mine is like in the middle. Like I feel it, sometimes I don't. It really depends.
The vendor that had sold Reed Churchill the pills that had killed him. His father David would give a tear-filled testimony at Lin's sentencing hearing.
Actually, I would say a little below middle. I won't lie, a little below middle. I'm not gonna say it's like directly in the middle. I mean, both times if broken a bone, it didn't hurt. I guess your pain tolerance is just high.
In February 2026, labeling the day he discovered his son's body.
The thing is with me though, sorry, I pause a lot. I yap too much. You guys get like sympathy pain. Like when I see someone else in pain, like I feel that pain. That's why it's like, kind of hard for me to watch like certain movies.
It's the worst day of his life. He would look Lin in
No,
the eyes
I get that shit. That shit's kind of
Remember
annoying.
this face while you're in a cell.
Minutes after David's testimony, however, something would be revealed that would turn this entire case upside down. A detail that would bring into question the entire legitimacy of the FBI's investigation. But before we get to it, a word from today's sponsor.
Oh, fuck no. I didn't get paid by this shit. Goodbye. Yeah, nah.
After David left the stand, Lin's defense attorneys would drop a bombshell. Lin didn't run Incognito alone. He had several moderators working with him, each of which had varying levels of power on the marketplace, which had moved more than $100 million worth of product in its lifespan. According to court filings, one of these moderators that allegedly held more power than the rest was working for the FBI.
Huh?
That's right, the FBI had an informant high up in Incognito, and according to Lin,
What?
They were essentially managing the site. They handled daily operations and every
Yo,
facet
they
you
would
expect from an
actually, they were
administrator
double
with
agent,
technical
bro.
expertise.
Lin alleged that while he managed the technical side of the site, the informant ran the day-to-day operations, something supported in their communications with the FBI, with the informant themselves stating that they personally oversaw 95% of the transactions on the site. In fact, the FBI informant had the explicit authority to remove any vendor they caught selling fentanyl, but they not only chose not to do that, but they even reportedly engaged in several debates with Lin on the issue of fentanyl, allegedly advocating to get the very dangerous substance unbanned from the marketplace. The prosecution would argue that this was all necessary for the authorities to build the
Dude, this guy get arrested, bro? gang, this guy was moving like fucking prime, like, I can't think of someone right now, I'm not gonna lie, I can't think of a reference. But yo, this guy's moving like crazy.
Evidence that would eventually lead to Pharaoh being unmasked and charged, and they'd also insist that Lin was the ultimate decision maker on the site. But the judge would express a decent amount of skepticism about why the FBI allowed the operation to continue as long as it did, after they had already infiltrated the site's upper management. Lin's defense would state that this informant
You heard that? You know, I purposely trying to see if I can make you guys hear that one, Mugala.
may have even had a role in the sale of the exact pills that killed Reed Churchill, but it wouldn't do much for Lin. He'd be sentenced to 30 years in prison, and as of July 2026, he plans to appeal.
Yeah, sus. Yo, on God I did. Literally, on God I did. Why do you think I moved up? What do you think I moved up? On my soul I did.
The essence of the FBI informant being central to his planned defense. Picture this. A grieving father walks into a courtroom to confront the man responsible
to avoid the rebound. Duh. Fairs.
He delivers the most emotionally devastating statement of the entire hearing. And then has to sit and learn that the US government itself had an embedded agent apparently personally running the platform. What do you think his reaction may have been? We don't know what went through David's head in that moment. He's never commented publicly on the revelation of the FBI informant. But we do know one thing. Dark web marketplaces have resulted in all manner of horrors, and many of them aren't exactly what you would expect. The American government didn't just have an agent helping to run a digital drug marketplace. They were also the ones who created the dark web in the first place. Back in the 1990s, while the internet was exploding in popularity, the US government wanted to find a way to use this new technology to allow spies operating in foreign countries to phone home. The problem is, the internet wasn't secure enough for these sorts of communications, so the US Naval Research Laboratory developed something called—
Wait, why does this look familiar? Is that just me?
onion routing, a technique for anonymous communication over a network that involves wrapping data in several layers of encryption that gets bounced between different network nodes, each one peeling away a layer of the encryption.
What the fuck did he just say?
Basic technology that the dark web is built upon. Websites are long addresses built from random alphanumeric characters derived from cryptographic keys, and they all end in the .onion domain. In the early 2000s, the US government would publicly release the Tor network, something we now call the dark web. If you're wondering why the USA would want regular people using something like the dark web, the explanation was actually simple. If only spies were using something like Tor and accessing Onion websites, then it would be quite easy for foreign adversaries to discover them by merely looking for any and all Onion traffic. It didn't matter if they couldn't read it or see where it was going, just finding evidence of any Onion traffic would be enough to know that there was a spy somewhere. But that wouldn't be the case if everyday people were using the dark web. The increased level of noise would allow agents to blend into the crowd, and finding Onion traffic wouldn't necessarily be a digital paper trail leading back to some foreign operative.
Wait a second. This is like some fucking light Yagami shit right now. What the fuck am I hearing? So you're telling me like the government's moving like L right now? Like what? They purposely make a dark web so everyone can join it, so they can pick out the bad guys, right? Is that what you're saying? Not that big brain, not gonna lie. I was gonna say, EJ, like in my head, it is kind of big brain, but doesn't it make more sense if you guys just don't make a fucking website? Like if the government never made a website to find these people, right? There would obviously be a private secure website made by some random ass person, right? To do some illegal shit. But isn't that more easier to find than just giving people a whole website? Like you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like they made it more complicated than it needed to be. He's saying if everyone's on, if they don't know who the spies are. Wait, so Gold, you're saying it's easier for a spy to look at these websites than it would be for them to like go to like a private. Yeah, I'm actually kind of lost right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's easier to blend into the websites than to make a new thing that people know to look out for. That makes more sense. I don't know. By the way, they can stop what people. They can't stop. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing is too. I think certain things in the world should be illegal and like banned and shit. But I feel like when you ban something, like it makes people only want to do things. You know what I mean?
So the US government unleashed the dark web onto
What's good, Zerno?
And guess what it almost immediately became known for? As you can imagine, there's a reason the dark web earned its name. The majority of onion websites are illicit in some fashion, with the biggest category of legal websites being drug market. The second largest category, however, is illicit finance.
Yo, Gold, by the way, you forgot his middle name, Epstein.
Hydra is a marketplace that once operated.
I got high, aka Dark Vamp, aka Cardi, aka Demon King.
This Russian
Sus, let me
platform
vent.
offered many other different categories of
That's
products,
not my middle
including
name.
stolen credit cards, bank credentials, forged passports, and even physical cash, both counterfeit and real. The site also had a unique innovation. Instead of operating on traditional courier services like other marketplaces, Hydra instead operated its own dead drop system. Cladmen, low-paid independent couriers, would pick up packages and bury them in parks, place them under benches, tape them to the inside of garbage bins. If you bought something on Hydra, you would receive a set of GPS coordinates and a photo of the hiding spot where your package was waiting for you. The Clad system made Hydra incredibly difficult for the authorities to prosecute, but just like Incognito, it too would eventually fall, being taken offline in 2022 after German authorities seized the platform's infrastructure. Between Hydra and Incognito, you can get a rough idea as to the source of offerings you can find on the dark web.
Wait, Hydra? Wait, what the fuck? Isn't that the shit from Marvel? Wait, Hydra's a real thing?
It mostly comes down to drugs and stolen/forged goods. But that's what you can find on the big platforms. The Goliaths that process millions or even billions of dollars and then eventually get taken down by the authorities. What about the smaller
Hydra's also a
platforms?
game parroting?
Are there websites on the dark web that offer a more niche selection? In mid-2026, open source intelligence researchers working for the magazine India Today would come across a strange set of websites on the dark web. They were all marketplaces, but they weren't selling narcotics or forged documents. The prices for these items were much higher, tens of thousands of dollars even. What could cost so much money on the dark web?
Yo, we can't be serious. Like, we can't be serious. What the fuck would you want to do with an organ? Literally, what the fuck do you want to do with an organ? Yo, people are weird.
Human lungs for sale.
What the
Human
fuck?
heart for sale.
What?
These sites
And I'm not gonna lie, why are they fairly cheap? They're only like a couple thousand.
all claiming to offer real human organs for exorbitant prices. The global illicit organ trade is huge, with 5 to 10% of transplant.
Only? Well, I don't know. For a fucking human heart, I thought it would be like 200K. That shit was like 65K. You know, some people buy them for when they're in need of a new body part to survive. No, I get that, but like on the dark web?
Kidneys worldwide being, quote unquote, illegally acquired. The intelligence team decided to pose as a buyer seeking a kidney in India. They began the purchase process, and the seller quickly moved the conversation over to Telegram, the private messaging app of choice for organized crime worldwide.
You know, to be honest, I've never known a single person on this planet that had Telegram downloaded on their phone. And if I did, probably wouldn't be friends with them.
The seller claimed to have what they described as a fresh harvest kidney, available within a 24-hour window, and later offered a live matching donor in Delhi, supposedly a 24-year-old male with O-negative blood. The seller quoted the intelligence team $50,000, which they claimed covered surgery, hospital stay, airport pickup, and even donor compensation. The seller then demanded a $2,000 deposit in the form of Bitcoin to reserve the donor, with the remaining balance being payable after the transplant was complete. India Today would reach out to a selection of doctors who all said that no hospital in the country would be legally able to accommodate a procedure like this, and the likelihood of an entire hospital being complicit in a major crime like this was essentially zero. The researchers would continue to speak to the seller, who provided the name of a Mumbai-based urologist. That was the end of the information drop, however. The seller wasn't going to give up anything more until they got their $2,000 in Bitcoin. The research team was able to match the name of the doctor given by the seller to a real urologist working for a private hospital, but they weren't able to verify whether or not it was the same doctor the seller was referring
No me
to.
importa. Anyone who has Telegram, we know what you do on that? Yeah, facts, Angel.
The India Today investigation was left without a definitive answer as to the legitimacy of these marketplaces, but the dark web monitoring and security firm Dark Owl would reach a conclusion about similar platforms back in 2023. They too would find several sites claiming to offer human organs for sale for similar prices as the platforms India Today investigated.
I guess? Fuck you mean I guess?
While they didn't contact any sellers, they were able to piece together the truth by analyzing the sites themselves. For one thing, many of them seem to state that human organs are viable outside the body for an entire year, a claim that is scientifically
Who the fuck is
impossible.
X?
Moreover, many of these sites use the same stock images of organs. They also analyzed the Bitcoin address listed on one site. The total amount it's received in his life was $34,000, but it was currently sitting at $0 at the time of Dark Owl's investigation.
Evil J
The majority of
banned Juice World, like, bro. Wait, did you guys know the name Jahel is popular in Israel?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. You gotta explain this, okay?
Me? What do I do? Is the ninja implement? Yo, that's not real, is it?
I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. If me and
That's
everyone,
not
in the
real,
ch-
that's
me and
not
everyone in the
real.
chat right now, you
What
got
is
some
it?
explaining to do, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You got some explaining to do.
Hold on, but that's looking kind of tough. Look, it says it means he will shine, or to light up in Hebrew. Hold on.
Bro. Don't try and change the subject right now.
Yo, what is okay? What is okay? Wait, can you switch the same thing up, but put like Mexico real quick. I just want to see. I swear to God, if it says that it's not.
All right, you got lucky this time, bro. All right, bro. Okay, you got. All right, you got lucky this time. Wait, am I good? Wait, am I good? Yo, what's good, juries?
Oh,
I'm not compromised.
Vamos.
I'm not compromised. It looks like you're compromised, gang. Yeah, nah, how did I tell you?
What?
Like, how did I tell you? Like, how did
knew
I tell you?
that.
Like, how did I tell you, bro?
This
Like, it
actually
looks.
news to me.
Yeah, nah, it looks like you're compromised, bro. How did I tell you, bro?
What?
Yeah, nah, I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro. That explains a lot, actually. That actually explains a lot.
What do you mean that explains a lot?
That explains a lot, bro.
What does that explain?
Like all the sus stuff you be doing.
Like what? Name one thing right now. Exactly. You can't. You know why? Because I'm not compromised.
You know what? I don't even want to tell you what you be telling me off stream. Like you actually don't. I can't.
No. Okay, now you're being weird. Now you're being weird.
I'm not even trolling. I'm not even trolling. I saw a photo of Zerno kissing a wall. I'm not even trolling.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out.
Yeah, I try to hold my laughter, bro.
Transactions on that address were only between $1 to $200.
Fair as I'm saying, bro.
Tens of thousands of dollars the item. By the way, check out this screenshot they took. Why is this the image the platform decided to?
Yo, who the fuck is this random kid? That ass random kid. He has a bald ass fucking head. Like you look chopped as fuck. You're a chud. Like gang, this entire fucking photo is just pissing me off.
Use. The listing is for a human heart from Central America. Is this some sort of mistake? In the same investigation, Dark Owl would also uncover a marketplace that claimed to sell human meat, apparently sourced from morgues and road accidents, according to the website. The conclusion reached by Dark Owl and other security firms who've investigated platforms like this is that the majority of dark web marketplaces claiming to offer human organs for sale are nothing but scams. Think about it. What's an easier operation to run? Selling actual human
Bro, this guy
organs
look
on
like
the
Kirk?
internet, which involve
I kind of see it.
incredibly complex logistics and sophisticated skilled work requiring all manner of seasoned professionals, or just scamming people who are looking for organs out of a bit of crypto. That's the thing about the dark web. You hear all sorts of stories about the scary things you can find for sale, but a lot of it just isn't real. In fact, the vast majority of
This guy looks like Gojo? Like, I guess this looks like me. Wait, do we actually look similar, bro? Wait, let me see. This guy looks like Gojo's dad. Do you look like my mom or my dad more? People say I look like my mom more. Look like a rose toy for Alinity. Okay. Discord? Oh, let me see. I'm not gonna lie, we do kind of look alike. I have a more of a fatter, rounder face, but I kind of see it. Dang, is this me in the future, bro? Shit. Fuck. I kind of just... I'm a little sad. I mean, because like I'm supposed to get younger, not older.
places on the dark web are outright scams. It's much harder to find a legitimate platform offering real things. In fact, sometimes you
I know y'all heard that one. I know y'all heard that one. Okay, that time, I'll be honest, I was not trying to make that one loud.
can't even be sure if the legitimate platform you're using is real or not. Because onion links are in the form of random characters, it's very easy to make a
Someone's
fake
gassing today. Yo, all I had was cereal and fucking Burger King chicken fries and onion rings.
version of an existing platform to pass off as a real thing, with unsuspecting users not noticing that the URL is different. Yes, scams are the most common form of illicit activity happening on the dark web. But
Yo,
no
dude,
scam has
yeah,
been
it's
quite
pretty
as
bad.
notorious and dangerous as Hitmen for hire. The idea of hiring a hitman through the internet is almost as old as
Yo, gang, yo, bro, did you not, like, while you're editing this, you didn't notice that your mic got shitty? What the fuck just happened?
the World Wide Web itself. In 1995, former Intel engineer Jim Bell wrote a
Like,
series
why does
of
it sound
essays
different?
titled Assassination Politics. It outlined a potential internet platform that could offer bounties on public officials, which
I'm
would
gonna
be
lose mic, bro.
crowdfunded by disgruntled citizens. A user could anonymously propose someone to be killed, offer a dollar amount, and could even make a prediction on whether or not the bounty would be successful, a precursor to the actual prediction markets that exist today. The assassination part of the platform, though, would never come to fruition. In 2013, the platform outlined by Bell would actually be attempted by a dark web user calling themselves Kuwabataka Sanjuro, naming themselves after the conniving Ronin from the 1961 Kurosawa movie Yojimbo. Their platform would collect bounties on public officials at the highest level, some of them as large as $75,000.
See, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the scariest part of the dark web for me. Like, imagine having a bounty on you, bro. That is terrifying. I mean, shit, bro. Need my axe. I can defend myself. Come on.
Market would garner a lot of buzz in the mainstream media, but it would ultimately fail to lead to any known killings. Sanjuro would eventually cash out $1 million from the platform and then take it offline in 2018, rendering the entire thing
Discord? Sob? Wait, what? Like, bro. Like. I guess we look alike, bro. I see it.
That's how the story tends to go. A site claiming to offer some sort of hitman service pops up,
Like,
and it
bro.
either ends up being a scam or some sort of
Y'all
FBI
do that.
honeypot.
Bro, this is not me, bro. This is literally not even me. This is not me. How is this me?
Sites is a 2015 platform called Besa Mafia. They claim to be the official online presence of the Albanian mafia, providing
Looking like a
services in
toy
every
for
corner of the
Dr.
world.
Disrespect.
They supposedly
And tell me
offer
why I shouldn't
everything
revoke
from
your mod
getting
right now.
someone beat up to a professional
Nah, I'm trolling. That's good
sniper
chats.
hit, an option suitable for anybody from CEOs to small celebrities, according to them. This is apparently much different than a basic Hitman, which only costs $5,000.
You know, I always wanted to play the Hitman games. You know, y'all know like GoldenEye and all that shit. I never played those shits.
A local gang member that, quote unquote, did murder before. They even have the decency to avoid booking expensive hotels, and they don't even smoke at the scene of the crime. But keep in mind that they can only hit normal people. It's a little hard to believe that anybody could
Is it
take
actually?
something like this seriously. It reads like something a kid would write. It wasn't written by a kid though. It was conceptualized by somebody going by the name of Yura. Believed to be an Albanian man living in Romania, leaked admin messages from the site would
Sad bar edit. Sad bar edit.
To report potential murders to the police.
No me importa nada. No me importa, no me importa, no me importa nada. Thank you, bro.
Montero would discover the site, as well as several critical security flaws. He was able to get in and read every single customer interaction on the platform, over 3,000 messages. From this, he was able to extrapolate that the Besa Mafia had actually received 38 real and paid-for kill orders,
What the
complete with details
fuck?
and pictures of the potential victim.
38?
Some of these stories were incredibly disturbing, like that of John Musbach. This New Jersey man had previously been charged with a heinous and unmentionable crime in 2015. A year later,
Send
he would
cash
pay
out?
40
No, you don't gotta do
bitcoins
that,
to
you
the
don't tell
Besa
him.
Mafia to have his young victim assassinated before he stood trial. He'd eventually be sentenced to 38 months in federal prison for the conspiracy.
What?
Over the next decade, Montero and his team would continue their investigation, uncovering several other Hitman for Hire platforms operated by Yura, each with their own exploitable security flaws. They'd eventually uncover more than 1,000 verified
Boy, I wasn't going to anyway. Like, yo, bro.
kill orders. In 2022, the Romanian authorities would crack down on the Besa Mafia, raiding 7 houses and arresting 5 men. It's unknown whether Yura was among them. Some of the hits uncovered by Chris and his team would lead to real legal charges being brought against those who had ordered them. Some of them would even foreshadow real murders. There is one case, though, in the recovered archives of the Besa Mafia that just doesn't make any sense. Brian Njoroge was a U.S. military serviceman stationed in Kentucky. Born in 1996, he supposedly had a very active social media presence and was of Kenyan descent.
I'm sorry. That's a good chat. Random kid. Gently random kid, bro.
2018, he was on leave and had booked a trip to Clarksville,
Random
Indiana,
kid.
hoping to stay in an Airbnb. Little did he know that
That's
someone
actually
had
good
taken
chats.
a hit on him. On May 29th, a user going by the name Toonbib would contact an administrator on the Besa Mafia website.
Who lives in Indiana? Yeah, I didn't even know people live in that state. I'm not gonna lie. The way bro popped on the screen frying me, yo, dead ass.
$5,500.
Nobody,
worth of
bro.
Bitcoin into
Yo, I've never heard people live in Indiana. But yet again, I never heard that anyone lived in Missouri either. But the more you know.
platform's wallet and outlined that they wanted Brian dead. They attached a yearbook photo of him and the address of the Airbnb he was staying at, mentioning that he would be there from June 1st to 11th. The administrator
I'm
would
joking,
respond
Gold, I'm
stating
joking.
that they would assign an
I want mochi?
operative
What
and
is
the
that?
job would be done in a week. But Toonbib would never respond. This would be the end of the interaction. On June 9th, a man walking his dog in Clarksville would notice something odd lying under the bleachers in a local baseball field. He'd walk a little closer to get a better look, only to find that it was a human body.
What?
The police are called and the corpse is identified as Brian Njoroge. They'd run an investigation and would piece together that Brian had stolen a gun from a nearby shooting range the previous day and had taken it to the baseball field to end it all. The coroner would then rule that the death resulted from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and the case would be closed within days. The lead detective would state that he had been aware of the hit bought on the dark web, but ultimately disregarded it as there was no factual evidence to suggest anyone other than Brian being involved in this case. The kill order wasn't the only suspicious piece of evidence. When the police searched Njoroge's home, they'd find that his computer, camera, and 2 smartphones were all missing. They'd never be recovered. Neither would the bullet that killed Brian, which was never located by police.
What the fuck is this?
Even more questionable, however, was Brian's life insurance policy. It was worth $400,000, and just 1 month before his death, he had switched the beneficiary from his parents to a female friend. This friend has never been publicly identified, but many speculate that it could potentially be the Toonbib that ordered a hit from the Besa Mafia. They clearly
My
knew
neck hurts,
intimate
lay down.
details about his life, right down to the address of the Airbnb he was staying at. There have been several other higher profile deaths connected to the Besa Mafia, like Amy Louise Allwine. She was the wife of Pastor Stephen Allwine, and in May 2016, the FBI would knock on her door to inform her that someone had bought a kill order on her on the dark web. She too would eventually end up dead, but in that case, it was revealed that her husband had not only ordered the hit, but had ultimately been the one to murder her after realizing he had been scammed. Every death attached to the Besa Mafia
Yo, is
more or
Mookie
less
live?
plays out in that
I
fashion.
might rate him after the stream, but I don't know when I'm
Someone
gonna
places a hit,
end.
realizes it's not gonna happen, and so they take matters into their own hands. That is except for Brian Njoroge. He's the only death that wasn't ruled a murder. It's certainly possible that the police's official story about Brian could be true. But wouldn't it be a crazy coincidence if somebody paid thousands of dollars to take out a hit on him just 1 week before his death? Samuel Njoroge, Brian's father, maintains that the police investigation was fishy from the beginning, and he disputes their official narrative for his son's death. He's also previously stated that there's a number of inconsistencies between the police report and the coroner's autopsy, but those details have never been publicly revealed. Brian was buried in the Dallas-Fort
I
Worth
was
National
kinda
Cemetery
scared this
on
last
June
one, I'm not
19th,
gonna lie.
2018. No charges have ever been filed in his case. Toonbib has never been identified, and and the police ended their correspondence with independent investigators by stating, "We're done with this case." I'm curious, what do you think happened here? Is this a case of a real hit being carried out? Or is the police's version of events true? Or is there some third possibility that hasn't been brought up yet? Let me know what you think in the comments. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you want to get more content like this recommended to you on YouTube, consider subscribing. If you do, the algorithm will show
I'm
you.
not gonna lie to you, this dude honestly got like good ass vids. That last one actually kind of like, I don't know, the idea of someone actually throwing a hitman on you is so scary, bro. Like dead ass. Like W video, yo, shout out Farrell for real. This is actually good vids. W vid, that yep, yeah, golden. This is actually good vids. This is a good video. I like it.